When I first had signs, I woke up one morning and I saw a spot of blood on my gown about the size of a quarter. Wasn't sure where it came from, so the first thing I thought about was, oh, maybe I scratched myself, cut myself. So I didn't pay it much of attention, and I let it go. So another 2 months later, it happened again. And so I had an appointment with my cardiologist. And as I was talking to him, I asked him, should I be concerned about this blood spot I saw on my gown? He said, you should. So he sent me down to the imaging center to have a mammogram done. Well, when they ran the mammogram, they didn't find anything at all. And so then they did a MRI, and I kind of suspect they found something, but they didn't acknowledge it, and they kept saying it was nothing. At the time it happened, I was at the point of getting ready to go on vacation, but they had decided that I needed to see a surgeon anyway. So I went to see the surgeon, and the surgeon assured me that there was nothing wrong, that I did not have cancer at all. And I had told him I was going on vacation, did I need to change my itinerary? And he said, no, just go ahead and go. And so I was gone for 2 weeks, and in my traveling while I was out, he called me and said that I want you to go to Providence Imaging Center because they have a 3D mammogram machine to have them check just to be on the safe side to make sure nothing is wrong. So I came back and I did, and that's when they found the tumor. The tumor was in the back of my right breast, and it was very small, so I was diagnosed with stage 1 breast cancer. The thing that was scary about it was that I have the 3 negatives and the aggressive form of cancer. And the oncologist at the time told me that she wasn't sure if we could cure this or not, but we were going to try our best. And but the surgeon, I was going to the military base, the surgeon on the base wanted to do a mastectomy. And when I found out it was only stage 1, which means the tumor was less than the size of a grain of rice, I didn't understand why would they have to take the whole breast instead of just taking the tumor out. So we went about, between the oncologist and the surgeon, about 2 weeks trying to decide which treatment to do. And so I finally told the surgeon on the base, I said, can you recommend me someone else? He told me, he said, there's a new person in town, and and I asked him what was his name, and he said his name was Charles Portera. And I go, Portera, the name sounds familiar. Ooh, could it be? I don't know. So anyway, I asked him, is he a Southern guy? And he said, oh yeah, he has a Southern drawl. And I said, okay. I said, well, just might be. The history behind it is that I knew while I was in college, I had a professor that's named Portera. And I was curious if this by chance would be a family member of the Portera I knew. Because at the time, this was during the Civil Rights era, and his cousin, come out to be his cousin, was one of the unsung heroes during the Civil Rights era that no one ever mentioned him. And I just wanted his family to know how much we appreciated him standing in the midst for us. And so when I came to his office, I called, they immediately got me in. I got me in the next day. And that's the first thing I asked him was he related to this gentleman. And immediately we found out, yeah, they were cousins. And so then I felt like I had a bond with him because I feel like I believe in faith in God, and I believe God had prepared him for me for this time, for such an hour. For Mr. Portera to help me during the Civil Rights, to help me integrate college during 1968. Now until 2017, I'm facing another Portera who's going to save my life. And I go, wow, God, you already had this plan that he would be here now for me. So I told him, I said, God had you here just for me. And I appreciate it, and I'm just so thankful. And I think we just created a bond from that. And I knew I could trust him with what needed to be done. And everyone here in his office treated me like I was special. They called me by name. They smiled when I walked in. And at a time when you're not sure on what's going on, you don't need to see a sad face and say, "Oh my God, she's got cancer." You want to see somebody that's uplifting, and I got that, and it made me feel good. And then even after the surgery, you call and ask me how was I doing, if everything was going okay. And that made me feel like I was not just another body that came through, that I was a human being, that I was somebody's mother, somebody's wife, somebody's sister. He did an awesome job. He was right there. Anytime I needed him, he gave me his number where I could call him at any time, and I couldn't ask for a better doctor.